We check out Sonic Tools S15 Toolbox with 14 drawers and 958 tools with it. We'll dig into the details and take a toolbox tour when we get back. I'm Tim Johnson. You're watching Shop Tool Reviews. Behold the Sonic Tools S15 Toolbox. This beast is 66 inches wide, 46 inches tall, and 28 inches deep. Comes with a stainless steel top, so you can put about anything on it and it's going to last forever. Also comes with 2-inch by 6-inch casters that's going to support the near 1,400 pound weight capacity of this toolbox. Now the toolbox in itself weighs somewhere near of 600 pounds, and then you get it complete. It comes with casters on it and everything. The S15 is the largest box that Sonic makes. Now we've had the S10 for quite a few years and we love it. It's held together very well. We lose very little tools. I think I've finally lost a 10 millimeter, but other than that, everything's still in the box. Also, something interesting about their boxes from their S8s and S9s all the way up to their S15, they stamp these out of one piece of steel. So when this is stamped out, basically it looks like a big plus sign, and then all the sides are actually folded up together and then bonded rather than having different loose pieces that are welded together. So you get a lot stronger box that way, as well as a more compact design. Now, a couple of unique things about this box are that on 3 sides, everything except the front, so each side here as well as the back, you get indentations there that are usable. In other words, there's a can tray in the bottom of this side, can tray in the bottom of this side. On one side's a handle, as well as a paper towel holder, so you can, use those paper towels for wiping your hands, wiping surfaces, what have you. As well as there's can trays down on the bottom. There's also different nut certs inserted in the sides as well, which I'm sure you can buy accessories from Sonic that'll bolt on there. But also I've found that if there's at least nut certs there, then you can build something to put on there. I'm going to build like a rag and nitrile glove holder where to hold all my clean rags, dirty rags, and nitrile gloves and actually have it bolted into that indentation there. You could mount maybe tool chargers, power tool chargers on there as well. So it's nice to have those few nut certs there that you can use for the paper towel holder, or you can use the others for different things as well. On the rear is really nice because there are actually trays or shelves built into the back here that house like aerosol cans. I've got my black spray paint back here, different colors of spray paint, my engine paint, high temp paint, things like that, as well as brake cleaner, throttle body cleaner. I've even got my anti-seize and brake caliper grease. So those go-to things that you're going to all the time are back here. They're still flush with the back so they don't protrude out, but the shelves are built into it, but they house them really tightly. They don't move around when you're moving the box around. So that's a really nice design that you can actually use rather than just the tools that you're using all the time. You can also store the other items that you use quite often, but then, like I said, it gets tucked away, doesn't have to go in a drawer. It's right at arm's reach, but again, you don't have to open a door or anything like that. Now, one thing unique about Sonic Tools is the way you order them. Now, if you want to, yes, you could order, a couple of ratchets, or you could order a couple of screwdrivers, but really their niche, or their kind of stick, if you will, is their foam tray system. So in other words, you can go on their site, you can choose from small, medium, large, even XD, as far as the sizes of the trays. And if you want to buy one of their boxes like this S15 with 958 pieces, you can do that. You can get this thing loaded out, you unload it off the truck, or they unload it off the truck with your forklift or however you're going to get it. It can be loaded with all 958 pieces, their biggest box, or you can buy their smaller boxes or somewhere in between. You can also buy the trays for your own toolbox. So you can go in and say, you know what, I need some Torx drivers. And while I'm getting that, maybe I'll get like, my hex drivers as well. And I want them in a T-handle. So here's what you get from Sonic. That's how it shows up, except for some shrink wrap around it. So you get some moisture packets here, you get an inventory list, all shrink wrapped and in place with the foam, cutouts, with the tools in there. and all labeled for your different tools. So that's the difference in Sonic Tools. When you're ordering these, you're pretty much ordering per drawer, if you will, or what they call a tray or their foam system. So really unique with Sonic. I really like it. Like I said, we've had the S10 box for years now. We love it. Keeps you from losing tools. Also, when friends come over, helpers come over, they can easily identify what you're after, even if they're not kind of big car gurus, if you will. Also, all of Sonic Tools are lifetime guaranteed. So you don't ever have to worry about breaking a tool or anything else. And if you do break a tool and you need to replace it, you don't have to go to a store. You don't have to wait on a tool truck. You email them, take a picture of the broken tool, email it to them. Within a couple of days, they're going to send you a brand new tool, no questions asked. So you don't have to worry about anybody pulling up and explaining your whole life story. Take a picture, email it to them, and it's going to be on the way back to you so you can fill that spot again with a brand new tool. So let's kind of take a tour of this S15 958 piece box, and then we'll come back and kind of close this up. Now this drawer, there's screwdriver drawer, and by the way, there's a couple of tools in here that we're missing. There's the hook, and there's that little guy. So you can see everything from flatheads to Torx, and they're labeled. So you see the T25, T27, 40, and so forth. And then you also get some extra long ones as well in the T27, 30, 40, and 45. So you get some extra long Torx as well. And a lot of your European cars, those come in very handy, by the way. So just a nice assortment of their screwdrivers. As I mentioned, these are tri-lobe handles, and by tri-lobe I mean they, look like they got 3 lobes basically. And you get some rubber overmold, you get some rubber overmolding as well as good plastic that's going to kind of last forever, if you will. You also get, I'm assuming that's probably a chrome vanadium shaft, and you definitely have a hardened tip there, so it's going to last a long time. It's got good grip on it as well. It forms to the hand real well. I like a tri-lobe design. Some people are real fickle about our screwdrivers. Actually, most mechanics are. I like these. They feel good in your hand. That's all I can say. So anyway, just a nice assortment of different screwdrivers here, from flatheads to Phillips, or whether you want to call it standard, slotted, whatever you want to call it, Torx, and even hook tools, door panel tools, scrapers, you name it, right there in the screwdriver kit. So you can see here when I open this drawer and then I go to open this one, it doesn't let me open that. Close it, now I can open that. Can't open the top one either. So only one drawer at a time. Now I can open this one over here. No problem. You can open 2 side by side, but you can't open one on top of the other. Also, this positive locking system, like I said, you can see when it kind of falls in, it locks in place. It's not just going to fall open. Even if it was on some sort of a ramp almost, or an incline, it's still not going to fall open. You kind of have to pull it past kind of a detent, and that locks it in place. By the way, the size on this, you're looking at about 29 1/4 inches wide. And like I mentioned, they're all about 22 3/4 inches deep. So this drawer here is basically 3/8 heaven. If there's a socket or a bit in 3/8 that's not in here, it's very few and far between. You get everything from your typical 6-point and 12-point, all the way up to 22 millimeters in shallow well as well as deep well. You also get everything from Torx bits to like your security Torx, your e-Torx, if you will, to spline drive, hex drives. Huge array of different extensions, from super long, I don't know how long that is. You get short extensions, adapters, you get a swivel head, you get a little stubby 3/8 drive ratchet as well. Even their 100 Newton meter torque wrench as well. So you get a 3/8 drive torque wrench in Newton meters and pounds, and you can see kind of the magnetic eye there, so it's easy to actually adjust that. You just pull the ring here in the back, twist it to where you need it, push the ring in, and that locks it in place. So really nice torque wrench there. Love these speed handles. I love these speed T handles here, so you can, you're backing out long fasteners. I use that along on motorcycles, marine stuff as well, and it's useful on cars as well. But anytime you have lots of threads, you want to spin off those fasteners, you can do so with those speed wrenches. So that's really nice to have. And then you have a sliding T handle in here as well. Don't want to go over every single tool, but again, really nice system. You'll also notice that on Sonic stuff, doesn't have a real bright chrome finish, and they have a purpose for that. And their point is chrome plating is chrome plating. It's a plating, so it's adding to the actual thickness of the tool. They feel like they can get more precision with not chrome plating it, and feel like that with their chrome vanadium, they don't need to finish it in chrome anyway. It's still going to wipe off very easy, last forever, and you're not going to have any problems. This next drawer here, if that was 3/8 heaven, well, this is 1/2 inch heaven. So again, about anything you'll need as far as fasteners goes and sockets and bits, it is right here, including their 400 Newton meter torque wrench, 1/2 inch torque wrench. So this beast here is going to go about all you need to go on any light trucks as well as passenger cars. And again, going to have your Newton meter reading as well as your foot pounds. You're going to get your swivel head design and your ratchet here in the 1/2 inch drive, and two of them, in a long one and a short one, and then your typical kind of pear-shaped ratchet as well. And then you get a breaker bar. You get a small and a big breaker bar. So you get the really long breaker bar here for busting those tough things loose. And then you get a shorter one here as well. And again, extensions galore. You also get these wheel sockets. Wheel sockets with, they've got that synthetic sleeve on it, so it's actually going to spin. It's not going to scar up any wheels. So when you're using these on those expensive wheels, it's not going to scar those up. So those are really nice to have. You can get a universal joint in there. And then again, some adapters, 12 points, shallow points. Also on their 6-point design, what they're calling their flank sockets, you can see here they've got those reliefs that are actually milled into the corners of the sockets, and that's going to allow this socket to bite onto the actual sides of the fastener and not on the corners of the fastener and round the corners off. It's actually going to bite on the sides and give you a lot more torque onto those actual fasteners before they give up the ghost, if you will. You also have everything from your hex drives to your e-torques, your torques, your splines, and pretty much you name it in the name of bits and sockets, and they're in here. Now you don't get the deep sockets in this kit. This is all shallow on the 1/2 inch drive on this drawer here on this tray. And again, you see you get that same size tray as before, which I believe is 29 1/4 wide, and you're 22 3/4 inches deep. So here's your wrenches, about anything you need, especially combo wrenches. You got it all the way up to 36 millimeter. So from 6 millimeter all the way up to 36 millimeter. Even got your e-torques in here. So in a ratcheting wrench as well. So you see here you've got your e-torques design, E14 on this side, E16 or E18 on this side. So you're actually covering two sizes on one wrench, and those are ratcheting. So really nice to have there in this kit. Also get stubbies over here. So you get their stubby wrenches. Everybody needs stubby wrenches. Those are excellent to have in those tight spots. And then this swivel-headed flare wrench. So you're breaking loose brake lines, transmission lines, things like that. These are a excellent tool to have. Everybody needs that when they're breaking those things free. Then you have your double-ended box ends as well as your ratcheting wrenches. And the ratcheting wrenches, they're standard ratcheting wrenches, have a reversing lever on it. So you don't have to flip this over. You see you also get a little angle on the head as well. You don't have to flip this over to change directions. Just flip the switch there and take it back and forth. And just like on the sockets, you'll notice on the ratchets that Sonic actually uses, again, kind of that satin finish. Still cleans up quite well. It doesn't not clean up like chrome or anything like that. It still cleans up just as well. But also going to last a lifetime, and you don't have that chrome plating to worry about ever oxidizing or coming off or something getting under it. Now here's pretty much the pliers drawer. A lot more than just pliers in here, as you can see. Back the camera up here. And again, we're looking at a 29¼ inch wide drawer, 22¾ inches deep. But you see there's several things in here aside from just pliers. So you get your diagonal cutters, you get your regular kind of multi-use pliers, your long nose pliers, your bent nose, which are on the top of the table. What they're calling water blunt pliers. I call those adjustable pliers. You even get a flexible magnetic tool there, 10 snips left and right, as well as some different long nose pliers there, some different locking pliers, and then even your electrical terminal tools here with different inserts for the jaws. So that's really nice, depending on which terminals that you're putting on, whether they're barrel fitting or barrel terminals, whether they're Packard terminals, what have you. You've got all the different jaws to actually slide in here and change those out so that you can use the right thing. And then one tool that gets used a lot that you a lot of times don't see around are these hose clamps, basically, that actually clamp off vacuum lines, water lines, fuel lines. If there's a rubber hose, you need to block it off. You don't have to worry about taking it apart and sticking a bolt in the end of it or anything like that. You can clamp this on there. It's safely going to clamp that closed. You can slide this lock on. It's going to hold that. It's going to hold that closed, and it's going to make sure that nothing passes through there while you're doing work, whether it's on that fuel line or a vacuum line or whatever you're doing. Also, you get these automatic wire strippers here, so it's going to make it really easy to pull the insulation off of that wire as you're needing to strip or put terminals on it or what have you. And then also there are different snap ring pliers here, from bent nose to basically your squeeze to open, squeeze to close as well, and bent and straight here. So really nice set when it comes to snap ring and their pliers. Really good quality, made in Germany stuff. So really good set there. Oh, and then top it all off, this is a brake fluid tester. So an electronic brake fluid tester tell you if your brake fluid's good or bad just by taking a dip in the pool, if you will. Now we're still looking at these 29¼ inch wide drawers, and this one is your 1/4 inch heaven, if you will. So half of it is basically all your 1/4 inch drive stuff, and then half of it's got some different drivers, as well as hook tools, pick tools, some extra long screwdrivers, as well as some pry bars there. You also get a 1/4 inch torque wrench here. So again, for the smaller fasteners and those more precision fasteners on the smaller side, the 1/4 inch, as well as you get your speed handle here as well, and your swivel. And then right here, this is really nice. So you basically get your universal sockets in the 1/4 inch drive. So those are really useful, and that's everything from even your E5, 6, 7, and 8s, as well as from your 6mm all the way to your 13mm in that universal style socket. You don't have to use a universal kind of intermediate, if you will. You can just use the socket, and so that makes it really easy. You also get a various array of extensions with it, and then your adapters, and even a magnet for picking up small tools, as well as a flex shaft as well. So not just an extension, but a flex extension. A little better than just using a universal, which you have there as well. So nice set here, nice couple of trays. So this is 2 trays in a drawer, so you can see how well it fits when you're actually kind of mismatching or mixing up the different trays in one drawer. And then last on this, again, you're looking at that 29¼ inch wide and 22 3/4 inches deep. Over here is the 1/2 inch impact sockets. So everything from 10mm all the way up to 38mm, and even some hex socket or some hex bits here as well, and some extensions. More of those wheel sockets, again, to keep from scarring up any wheels. So those are really nice to have. Italian hickory handles on the hammer, so that's going to absorb a lot of the vibration and things like that when you're hammering. So I like a wood handle on my hammers, and you can see you get everything from just kind of a 2-pound dead blow to your machinist style hammers, as well as your synthetic or plastic headed hammers to keep from again marring surfaces like aluminum, or maybe you're hitting on something else and you want to be more gentle. There you go, you've got it. As well as their chisels here, so they got a foam rubber handle. Also you get this wide plastic ring maybe keep you from hitting your thumb, but probably not. But anyway, everything from punches to chisels to special chisels. So a nice assortment of different chisels and punches right there in one set. So now moving over to this other side here, you can see that these drawers are a little bit more narrow. So I'll measure it here. So we're looking at right at 22 3/4 inches wide. I think the others were 29 1/4. So we're losing about 7 inches. So 22 3/4 is your width. You still get also 22 3/4 inch deep. So it's pretty much a square drawer here. Now in this one, the way I've got it laid out here, you just kind of get 2 empty pockets here that'll kind of hold, you know, any sundry of items or, you know, miscellaneous bolts, screws, what have you. And then back here, I've got my T-handles, I've got my nut drivers, as well as your flexible nut driver. So that's really cool to have this, this 7 and 8 millimeter and even or 6, 7, and 8 millimeter flexible nut drivers here. So get in wherever those areas that they're kind of tough and bend around the corner and actually get that driver out without having to use a ratchet or socket or universal joint. Just a little flex in that shaft is going to work really well. Also, these T-handles, very comfortable in the hand, kind of an elliptical feel there. You know, using this for some leverage. All one-piece shaft here going into the actual socket, if you will, on the end. And again, I'm assuming that's probably chrome vanadium in that satin finish, so it's going to last a long time. Also not going to stain. It's going to be easy to clean up as well. And like all the other Sonic stuff, everything's labeled so you can easily put it back where you need it to go. So sticking with the same size drawers here, this one is actually empty. That's where my new hex drivers and my basically ball handle, and these are nice because you can see you kind of get 2 wrenches in one. You can use the short end here to get more torque, more leverage on the fastener, more speed. You can use the long end here and actually, you know, put it in your hand. So really nice having that, you know, tip on both sides there. So on these Torx drivers and on these ball hex drivers as well, you get a little angle on it as well with the ball end, and then on this end you can grab more leverage on the hex drivers as well. So very comfortable in the hand. Nice set there. You see how easily it just lays in the drawer, fits snugly. Everything's labeled for you. So moving on down, these are more wrenches here in the smaller drawer here, and you see I've still got more room in these drawers if I wanted to put extra trays or more, you know, small trays or what have you. So you get everything from your flare wrenches, and you got a flexible head on one side and a stationary head on the other side, as well as your regular wrenches with open end or your combo wrenches, as well as your double box end also. So here's your combos, here's your double box end, and then you even get your socket wrenches. So where you've got a different size socket on each end of the wrench. So it makes it easy just to grab a couple of tools, and then you've got some various sizes with you without having, you know, different ratchets, different sockets, and so forth. So socket wrenches are nice to have from time to time. You even get these in an E-Torx drive as well. So you can see there in the socket wrenches and the E-Torx. And then you also get a 10-piece hex key set, as well as a 10-piece Torx set as well. So those are nice to have to just kind of carry with you. You get 10 sizes in one, or however many sizes. Yeah, that's 10 sizes in the hex or in the Torx drive, and be able to carry that as a set and do what you need to do. Now here's more 1/2-inch drive bits. Everything from your security Torx, so your T70H, which again, you basically got the hole in the middle of the Torx there. And then you've got your Torx all the way up to T100. So your massive size Torx there in the 1/2-inch drive. You've even got some specialty, like your alternator bits there, where you can actually pull off the alternator pulleys and pull those apart. So you've got that in the M10 as well as the T50. So Really about anything you could think of as far as bits go, it's covered in here. That's all 1/2-inch drive. So this drawer here is a really nice specialty drawer. So this is going to have everything from a steel ruler, so a steel rule here, to your vernier calipers, to a protractor where you can actually, tell the different angles. A depth gauge, that's specifically, I believe, for tires, but really you can use that on anything to actually tell the depth of, in this case, tread, or the depth of whatever you're needing to check. Could be a piston dish, whatever. You can do that with that tool. Get a razor knife there. You even get a plastic wedge to keep from marring surfaces. You get a punch there, a pry bar, hacksaw with extra hacksaw blades, stainless steel brush, and then you get your different files here, brake files, and so forth. So nice specialty drawer there. Even a 26-piece feeler gauge set there, so you can check clearances, set valves, whatever you need to do. Then this last one is a deep drawer. Put your power tools in it, whatever you need to do. So I've got a few tools in there. So that's just kind of an extra drawer there that you can put your larger stuff in. So that's it as far as the small drawers. And then we've got this bigger drawer. And then this top drawer is your deep drawer that goes the full width. And no specific tools in here. I've just got kind of a multitude of different tools, from Sonic's lights, which they have a great assortment of LED lights, shop lights. Got another torque wrench in there, some ratchets, some different things, actually a Sonic kit down there. But this is a full length drawer of the full box there that you can see goes all the way back. Again, you're going to get that 22 3/4 inches deep, and then the full length of the box there. So there you have it, 958 pieces of glory in an awesome toolbox. No, it really is. It really is a really sturdy toolbox. I like the drawer actions. I like the way it's built. It's nice and sturdy. I like the anti-tilting mechanism where you can't pull out more than one drawer at a time, at least on each side. I like the way Sonic's done their tools. I really do. Like I said, is this a nice box? Absolutely. But we've used their other S10 for years, and I'm talking about several years, I think since 2016. So that's about 4 years now that we've really done everything. We've had, workers come in, use them all the time, pound on them, throw them around the shop, you name it. You know how tools get treated when in the shop. And I'm telling you, they've lasted really, really well. The foam system, by far the best thing out there when it comes to ready to go out of the box, if you will. So you can't argue that fact that when you get the tools that everything's already labeled. You don't need accessories. You don't need to buy additional things to sort your tools out. Everything's there, nice and flat, and nice shallow drawers, so you don't need really deep drawers to stand things up or anything. Everything's labeled, laid down, and you're good to go. Now again, lifetime warranty on Sonic Tools, that all you have to do is email them. They're going to take care of you. Now let's talk about price. This S15 box is not cheap. Obviously, when you're talking about a 14 drawer toolbox that weighs 1,300 pounds with the tools, you're talking about 1,000 pieces of tools basically. It's about $14,000. I think $14,200 is the 958 piece kit with the toolbox. Yeah, that's a big old bite out of the budget. I get it. At the same time, you compare this to a tool truck brand, you're probably talking multiples on top of that. So really nice box with really nice tools. But again, the Sonic idea is you can buy this if you want to, and it would be a great addition to your shop, to your garage, wherever you're putting it. But you can also buy their system for your toolbox, or buy a smaller toolbox, or whatever you can afford. And by the way, if you're a student, reach out to them as well. They got some really nice discounts for students out there. So they really want to attract those students that are up and coming in the industry, whether it's marine industry, whether it's automotive industry, aircraft, you name it. If it's got a motor on it, if you're working on it with tools, they want to know, tell them what you're doing as far as where you're a student and so forth, and they want to help you out, because listen, they don't want you to overspend either. I definitely don't want you to overspend. I want you to buy tools that are going to make you money. When you make all the money you want, you can buy whatever tools you want. Nobody cares, but don't go in huge debt just because a tool truck pulls out in front of you and wows you and enamors you with just lots of bling. So Check out the Sonic, the S15, as well as their other S series of toolboxes. Also their different tray liners or their different foam trays. You can get about anything from torque wrenches to screwdrivers to ratchets and sockets and bits. You name it, they have it. So check them out at sonictoolsusa.com. If you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe button and even that bell notification so that you can be notified of future videos. Keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Have a great day. Go out and do something nice for someone.